Howdy, y'all. Hey, so I'm going to keep this one, or at least I'm going to try to keep it short today. But I'm going to talk about this little morning routine that I picked up maybe 2 years ago. And I do it weekly now. I used to do it almost every day. And when you first start trying to do this activity, this technique, it will take a lot of time. But you'll see a lot of results. And then over time, it takes less and less time to do because you've already done a lot of the work. This, of course, is my tea table. And if you guys would like, I can make one of these in Excel or Word and just throw it up in the comments or on my website or something. Of course, I'm not going to make you fucking pay for it. Like all these other people out here that just want money. Fucking crazy. So, what is a tea table? Well, I think no one actually takes true inventory, or at least most people don't, right? I'm looking at you. We're having a conversation. Do you take inventory of all your friends, all your family members, your coworkers, your acquaintances, your foes, all the people that have inputs into your life? Do you take inventory of them? And when I say take inventory of them, I'm talking about putting them on a piece of paper. So what I want you to do right now, pause the video, get a piece of paper. Well, actually, pause it after I explain what to fucking do. Okay? Get a piece of paper and write on it a straight line. And you're going to need two dividers. So boom, boom. You're going to have three sections. You're going to have people in the first section. All right? Second section is going to be emotions and actions. All right? You can also throw thoughts in here as well. The way you think about this person or people, whatever it is. Okay? And the last section is going to be T. Now, to begin, T stands for transmutation. Transmutation is, I'm pretty sure that's what I've been put here. It's what I want to teach. It's the ability to look at the dark, the bad things, and learn lessons from them. This is something that a lot of people don't do because it's scary, and also, when do we all have time for this shit? You don't write down the bad thoughts you have, right? Most of the time. No one goes throughout the day diarying about all the bad thoughts. I mean, some people do. I used to when I was younger. I had a diary. And I would write how miserable I was sometimes in there. But you know, the beautiful thing is, if I could go back in time and talk to my younger self, I would say, hey, you're doing the right thing. You're writing down the things that you don't like. The bad emotions, the bad thoughts, the bad energy. Okay? You just have to take it one step further, which is the transmutation. So, the point I want to get at is when you make this graph, let's say the first person on here is your best friend. And let's say when you think about your best friend, you feel love. You feel peace. You feel happy. You get a smile on your face, okay? In the transmutation column, at the end of this exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to reaffirm the way that you're feeling. If it's a good feeling, you're going to reaffirm it. I'm skipping around this whole video, by the way. But if it's a good thought, you're going to say, I am grateful. I like saying, I am so happy and grateful now, to assume in the present moment. And then I like to reaffirm the same good emotions that I'm feeling associated with that person. So I'll write down that person's name in that next column over, the third column, with the action that makes me happy in an I am statement. So I'm happy because the person that makes me feel this way is continuously going to be making me feel this way. You see what we're doing here? Now on the bad end of things, this is where the fucking magic happens, boys. Okay? Because you're going to say, I am grateful again. But are you grateful for the bad things? I don't think so. You're not grateful for the people doing the bad things to you. However, you're grateful for the lessons that the bad people teach you. Okay? If I'm going to give you a little shout to who kind of I am. If somebody were to come offer me money, you guys, if you've seen or ask me for money, right? Or ask me for a favor. You've seen how I've talked about the banks. You see that I don't like the whole idea of interest and lending things out to people and expecting extra amounts back on top. I don't like that idea. So that's something I do with my life. If somebody needs something, I'll give it to them, not expecting to get it back in return. Okay? And you can apply this to every single thing you look at. All right? So for that example, what I just said is, I don't like people that are evil with money and try and subjugate others by lending it out and putting them in a contract that they have no way to get out of. If somebody needs something from me, because I don't like what those people do, I will happily give. Okay? That's the point of the third column when it comes to the bad things. You are going to reaffirm the good habits, the good emotions that you are going to partake in, but you're going to be grateful to that person that taught it to you. So that person that kind of abuses you a little bit, they're kind of mean to you. Maybe when you think of them, you get a state of anger, okay? Maybe a state of envy, a state of greed. And I want you to look at those states of being, those emotions, and why you're feeling them. And then I want you to transmute them. I want you to step above them, look at that other person, and decide for yourself a higher state of being emotion, such as peace, love, understanding, willingness, acceptance. Maybe you've been envious of someone for so long because they have more than you. How can we transmute that envy? Okay? So you look at them and you say, oh, well, they have all this stuff. They get all the girls. They have the house. Oh, my God. Everything's going good for them. I'm so envious. I want you to take that envy and I want you to transform it into understanding. The understanding that you yourself can have all the same things. You just have to step into being it. That other person, you're envious of them because deep down, they're willing to do things that you may not have done or you are unwilling to do. So this is a good moment. At the start of the exercise, you were envious of this other person. You looked at them and you thought they were a villain. They must be cheating. They must be stealing. They must be doing something awful because they have something that I don't have. And I don't want you, on the other side of the screen, to have those emotions in your heart. They're going to weigh you fucking down, all right? There's no point to have them. But you have to look at them and say, all right, well, I'm envious. I have to make a change. How can I change? That is the understanding. That is the pull. That is the point. When you write down in that third column of the journal and say, I am so happy and grateful for this person because they taught me this. They taught me to work harder. They taught me to chase my dreams. They taught me to not be scared of having that conversation, to make the extra phone call, to go the extra mile, to dress more proper and more pristine, to groom better, to stay more upbeat on my own health, my own vibe. You know, I should be smiling more. That person's always smiling. Maybe that's why they get the job offers and things, right? You see what we're doing here? At the start, you were envious. You were saying, this is a bad person. They have to be a bad person. But now you're looking at them trying to understand. Understanding is better than envy. Envy destroys, but understanding has the ability to transmute and change. So that's what we should be stepping into here, guys. And this whole thing is just a gratitude exercise. All right? And right now, I'm going to get a little woo-woo for a couple seconds here. We're in a massive Mercury retrograde. And we're getting solar flares all the time. Now, I don't know too much about that stuff. It's not what I'm good at or studied in, okay? But I understand energy. And so when you have a bunch of energy hitting the planet, good emotions are going to run high, but so are the bad ones. And the things that are in the shadows may come to the light. So in that state, there's a lot of opportunity for growth. Right now is a good opportunity to really dig in, make a list, put all the people that you associate with, write all the emotions, thoughts, and actions that they make you feel, take, or experience, And then I want you to reaffirm the good and change the bad. But nowhere at the end of this exercise, I do not want you to keep any of the negative emotions that you have stored up towards other people inside of you. I want you to deal with them. Okay? You need to deal with them. You cannot walk through life looking at other people in judgment, hatred, racism, fear, anxiety, doubt. That's got to go. It's got to go, guys. It's got to go. All right? Your life will get better. So what can we do as we move through the weeks doing this exercise? I like to organize my thoughts with this exercise. That's why I do it once a week. You see, I said at the start of the video, the first one's going to take some time. Okay? The first one's going to take some time because you got to write it all out. You got to write out all the people. But after you've been doing this for a while, after you've transmuted a lot of these emotions, there's going to be less and less people on this list that you actually need to deal with. Okay? But when it comes to the reaffirmation part, what I like to do is I like to organize my future thoughts with it. Okay? You sort of should know what your purpose is, your tribe is, and your vibration based off the gratitudes that you give out during this exercise. If there are certain people that you feel absolutely incredible around, well, that's probably your tribe. And they match your vibe. And if they're vibing and tribing, they most likely will be around on the ride when you chase your purpose. Or maybe they're involved with your purpose. Or they're in the same sector as your purpose. So doing these exercises, figuring out what makes us happy, what makes us sad, and fixing our emotional state can lead us to the groups of people that will give us the most happiness in life. It will lead us to the purpose that will give us the most fulfillment in life. And just in general, it will help you identify things that just aren't working, okay? And you can also duplicate this for maybe addictions or other bad habits and start looking at the emotions you feel on the inside towards these habits, and then maybe let's try and change them. But, who fucking cares, right? You can do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you guys, your life gets exponentially better when you stop worrying so much about shit that you can't control. And let me tell you, you can't control other people's thoughts, but you can control yours. Have you? Love you guys. Have a good one.